Hello. Before I start the next videos, I want to comment on a Christian that commented in my Pal Talk room, and she took offense that I called William Lane Craig a liar and all other things that I called him. And she said I have no proof that he is a liar, or to call him all kinds of names, a gangster and everything. So we're going to prove now that he's a liar and a gangster, and nothing to believe whatever this liar claims, whether the Christian or whoever he is. Okay? Now, we posted this first. The fact that women's testimony was discounted first century Palestinian stands in favor of the women's role in discovering. According to Josephus, the testimony of women was regarded as so worthless that it cannot even be admitted in the Jewish court of law. Any legendary story would certainly have been made the discovery of the empty tomb. So now we're going to prove that he's a liar. Now, William Lane Craig has debated Richard Carrier. Now, as a responsible debater, if you want to debate someone, you should read exactly what his position is before you debate. Now, look what he says. Nevertheless, Holding argues that a woman's place is in the home, not in the witness stand. He's arguing somebody else has made the same claim. Appears in court does not mean a testimony is not trustworthy. Two is a popular error made by numerous Christian apologists. In actual fact, the evidence proves quite the opposite of something that women regard as bear witnesses in the ancient world. Do not support such a blanket distrust of female testimony. Instead, the female was often trusted even in a court of law. Now, watch this. Proper to argue according to decorum to everyday credibility. Those are not court documents, they are at best histories, not at the same thing. And when it came to this kind of using women as source for historical claims, no evidence to distrust. And here he quotes Josephus. Josephus, for example, has in his entire account of the heroic sacrifices at Gamala and Masada from no other sources than two women in each case, yet shows no embarrassment at this. Josephus often forgets to tell us who his sources were for a particular story, yet here he goes out of his way to report his only sources were women. This makes no sense unless those who regarded his sources as quite respectable. So this refutes this liar, as we can now call him, that the woman's testimony about a burial, someone's death, is not trustworthy. Okay. Here's also a Christian apologetic. See, the testimony of a woman is not as high regarded as a man, especially more serious issue. But let not the testimony of women be admitted on account of the levity, boldness of the gender. Again, he quotes from Josephus. And here he quotes from the Talmud. Any evidence which a woman gives is not valid to offer. Also, they are not valid to offer. Okay? And he quotes the Talmud, Rosh Hashanah 1.8. First of all, you know that this liar is copying from someone else. There's no such thing as 1.8 in the Talmud. Now, let's see exactly where he got it from. Okay, here is the Talmud, Rosh Hashanah, but it's actually in 22a. It goes 2a, 2b, 3a, 3b. There's no 1.8 in the Talmud. So that means he copied it from some other liar who wrote this. But let's see what it says over here. So actually we'll read this again. Any evidence which a woman gives is not valid to offer. Also, they are not valid to offer. This actually makes no sense. When we read the Talmud, we see the following are ineligible to give a sort of testimony: gambler, usurers, pigeon flyers, those who traffic and prowess on the Sabbath, and slaves. It's general rule that for any testimony by which a woman is disqualified, they are also disqualified. Now the Talmud quotes, I infer from this that any testimony which a woman is qualified to give, they are also qualified to give. Now we'll see over here 14 and 15 which evidence they could give. So here's the evidence where it says in give. To testify the death of a husband so as an enable widow to remarry. A woman is believed to say that her husband died and remarry. Now, if she is a liar and she marries on her own testimony, and let's say the husband walks in the next day or a year later, whatever, she has committed adultery and she would be stoned. So we trust the woman on this most grievous thing of getting stoned. So we see over here that a woman's testimony is about death. And what is the resurrection? The death, that's about death. That a woman can testify about death or whether her husband is alive. So we see the Talmud says just the opposite what they claim. But of course, these are liars. They don't check the sources because they just want to embellish their lies so people will believe in their cult. Another thing is, the Naki boy claimed that most scholars agree that of the historicity of his Satan books. Okay? The Jesus Seminar was organized in 1985 to report the result of research to the general public. They had many scholars come and decide if they're authentic, the Satan books. Okay? 30 scholars took up the challenge initial meeting of Berkeley. Eventually more than 200 trained specialists. 200 scholars. And what were their findings? Among the findings is that the judgment of the Islamic follows about 18% of the saying and 60% of the deeds in the Gospels are authentic. Okay? This is how authentic his cult is. All scholars agree. Have 200 New Testament scholars and only 18 or 16. Of course, the Christians are writing all about it. If you go look on the Google it and everything, they're going to try to refute it and all that. But that's exactly what it is. They can't refute anything. This cult is nothing is authentic as he claimed in his book that all scholars say is authentic. But again, to authenticate any cult, you have to lie. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next video.